Okay, Shalom Akim. Kahala Imna Yahaba Shim Yasha Bashim Kodash, and double honest to graves and apostles. The artists are they find this video edifying and exhorting. And the artists are probably a short one because again the point is easy. Sometimes I say it could be short, sometimes I say it could be long. But nevertheless, bringing out another lesson here. This is from Sky News. It says, more women turn to sex work, say charities. Again, Sky News. Because, considering the times, over here in the UK, of course, America as well, they have their own welfare challenges too. But this is here within the UK as well, as you're about to hear anyways. It's one of the, Bristol being one of the towns in the UK. What was I going to say again? But, cost of living, of course, what's going on here in the UK since pretty much a few years back. Really, it's like a ripple effect from around 2020. And that's what individuals are going through right now, man. Of course, it's not just women, but, considering the video that I'm about to play, women are also going to get caught up in these situations, especially those who don't have a partner to be able to discuss how they're going to manage their finances, manage their funds. So of course certain women, they'll be pushed to the side and they'll be forced to do this, man. So, harsh times, or rather, well, harsh and hard times are coming, man. They're already here, and just gradually they're increasing and increasing and increasing, man. That's why we've got to pray to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Everyone got to pray to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, not just men, but also the women too, so that you don't get caught up in this, and so that, if you do have a man, that your man still be able to provide for you, man. Even in that time as well of the MOTB, nevertheless, that's when faith is going to be tested, But nevertheless, Yahweh Shem Yahshua promised, he would preserve us from the hour of temptation. Anyways, let me get into this because I said I don't want to make this too long. Right, let's play this out.
Nightfall in Bristol, where up to 140 women are selling sex on the streets on any given night. They are working in the shadows, and that's a dangerous place to be.
Just check the early evidence kits.
Tracy and her team are trying their best to keep them safe.
What do I do with the harm reduction again, Tracy?
They should stay in there.
Women can come here to access food and hot drinks, or condoms and clean needles.
Definitely all good for condoms.
Sometimes they just need a place to charge their phone, but other times they may be escaping sexual violence.
So we'll be going to where the women are actually working, so we're meeting their needs where they're at. We'll actually offer a safe haven, a safe space for women to have some respite from the street sex work.
Have we had any calls?
The charity 125 has seen a 76% increase in demand over the last 2 years.
Next, right, well.
And charities across the country say rising hardship, driven by the cost of living crisis, is causing more women to enter the industry. Women who sell sex on the streets are among the most vulnerable working in an industry where experiences can vary dramatically. Some will come to this as a last resort. Others may be pimped or trafficked. And then on the other end of the scale, there are women who have actively chosen to pursue this line of work.
Yeah, more and more are going to actively choose to do it as the pressures actually increase as well. So really, we're coming into the times where there'll be a very great humbling, man. And these times will come where if you don't humble yourself, towards your husband, there's going to be consequences. Just as the way, if the man don't humble themselves towards Yahushua, there will be consequences too towards Yahweh Shem Yahshua. But the reason why I say Yahushua is because, of course, it's through Yahushua. That's how we get onto Yahweh. That's how we get the mercy of Yahweh. That's why we say all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, which means in the name Yahushua, because it's through Yahushua. That's how we get to the Most High Yahweh. That's how we get that intervention, that mercy. But nevertheless, focusing on the woman here, there's going to be a great humbling in these times, man. Let me get a precept on this. Alright, so this is Isaiah 32, starting from verse 10. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. So, all these income sources and, Eve, not just Eve as well, but really any woman in general, of course, Eve most especially because, considering the heritage, you know, being an Israelite woman, they're going to get their consequences too, man, in these times to come. So they're going, when the time comes where these judgments start rolling out rapidly, which we got a little taste of that, in 2025 as well, in the latter parts. But, yards of this year will also increase too. Death upon death upon death. And really, as the pressure rises, man, this is what's going to create that humbling. You ain't got no income sources. The pressure's going to start to, so pressure's going to start to increase, in all manner of ways, financially, and of course, the whole economy. And this would then induce a type of fear, man, especially those who don't have a man of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Hence why, in fact, before I get that, let me read this. So Isaiah 32 and verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease. When a person's comfortable, at ease, the trick is not to really, or read the best perspective to have is to not be prideful on these vanities, man. That's the thing, you play a role, serve your man as the man serves Yahweh Shai, and you'll be fine, man. Especially for those of you women who have a man of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Of course, for those who don't, in the time to come, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to do his work. And then, again, Isaiah 4 and 1, you'll be joined with a man of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, a servant of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Anyways, Isaiah 32 and verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, and it's typically the women of the world, so be troubled, but don't really make the ones in the truth exempt either, man. As the scriptures say, he endureth to the end as well. Women, they're going to have to endure with their man to the end too. Because certain women during that time of Isaiah 4:1, many women will actually be, judged and be put to death, man, back to the spirit realm, as well as just lose faith and shake because of their man. And when I say shake, I'm talking about shake in fear because of all these things that they're hearing on the news, and that's going to make their faith waver, man. That's why you got to be rooted in, of course, through your man, in Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man. And have faith in your man too, especially, as I keep repeating, a man of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Now, either way, Yahweh Shem Yahshua will still preserve you. You still got to maintain your faith. That's if, you're linked with one who isn't, in the truth, in it. That's just the position that you're in. But anyways, so Isaiah 32 and verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins, man. So of course, let me read that in the NLT as well. So Isaiah 32 and verse 11 in the NLT on the right, tremble you women of ease, throw off your complacency. And it's true, Eve is known to always complain as well, especially when you look at the stereotypical, social media, YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff. When it comes to the portrayal of the typical black woman, the stereotype is just loud and clamorous, as the scriptures say. So strip off your pretty clothes and put on burlap to show your grief, man. So that time of flexing weaves, nails, and makeup as well. That time, it wouldn't be a time of that, man. In fact, you want to probably stay low key in that time. You'd have to, because if you shine too bright, I'm talking about in terms of physical appearances, men would be hunting, man. Men are gonna go crazy in that time as well. So that's why your faith in Yahweh Shem Yahshua, and again once more, through your man, if you do have a man, of course, that's why I'm saying it, will be key in these times, man. Alright, one more preset now, I'm gonna close out, man. Quick video. So Titus 2, this is the ideal for women. So this is Titus 2 in terms of the mindset, how you ought to behave. That's what I mean. So Titus 2 and verse 3, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not like these modern times where, you got the old ones corrupting the younger ones. Not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, you see, discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. So, of course, discreet, chaste, man, which really talks about, being, which really takes discipline mentally, so that you don't come across as you're, showing off and like, look at me, attention obsessed, as this social media generation has trained the young ones for too. But nevertheless, that's the standard right there, man. Of course, here it talks about the young men, but the focus here, especially on this video, is based on the women, man. So this is really the standard to be in. And if you actually behave like this, you wouldn't have to worry about Isaiah 32 and verse 11. You wouldn't have to tremble because you'll be on good grounds. Because of course through the mercy and grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, because you're trying, and you're being obedient to your husbands, man. Your husband. But yeah, Yaratazar, we'll leave it there. Yeah, man, but this is a result of the cost of living, economy, but all of that, if women just humble themselves, decide to stick with a man, which of course it's not every time. It's not every time that it's it's the woman's fault. Sometimes it be the man that be it be he be the wicked one, so it's not as if I'm playing blind to that, but certain situations it be the women too, pride and ego, not willing to resubmit to a man. That's pretty much it. The same way you could see it between a man of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and or a typical Israelite. I'll say a typical Israelite man and Yahushua. If he's disobedient, which is what the 2/3 are, then of course he's gonna. That's why they're called 2/3, man. In Zechariah 13 of verse 8. The wicked Israelites, because they didn't subject themselves under Yahushua. They didn't want to submit to Yahushua. They didn't want to be obedient unto Yahushua. So it's the same way for the woman onto the man. It's not as if the man is this end all be all. We got to submit to Yahushua the same way Yahushua submits unto the Father. There's a hierarchy. There's rules, and these rules must be followed. And that pertains to the scripture. You know what? Let me get this final preset, then I'll close it out. Yaratazar. All right, this is 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach Yahushua is the Most High, man. So that's really it, man. That's the order right there. Yahushua is the head of the man, and of course, as it says it, the head of the woman is the man. That's why she gives obedience to the husband. And the head of Yahushua is the Most High Yahweh. That's just it, man. So that's really the case, man. If everyone just followed the rules, which is really the reason why we're in this position in the first place, because we disobeyed the Most High. Hence why the curses of Deuteronomy 28 applies to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But anyways, I'll leave it there. The point's already proven, man. The point's already proven. But yeah, shalom, and Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Barakatah.